What are you filming me for? Are you going to put me on TikTok? YouTube? And what is YouTube?
Everything and everything.
Everything and everything? That sounds like something I should be in charge of. Yes, Davos is in charge of all the universe, you know. All hail Davos!
Can I just ask one question and people answer it now, right, in this vlog today? If I'm filming in here, is this a public place? Am I able to film anyone and everything in this area? Because I'm sick of the staff here coming up to me going, excuse me, you can't film here. I'm sure with all the people here, with the cameras on, taking pictures of me, taking pictures of everybody else, taking pictures, obviously not taking pictures of me, but you know what I mean, me getting into their shots, you know. And that doesn't bother me. Why do people, or especially staff, always have to make it, you know, some like problem? If these members don't want to be filmed, they don't come to these events. Right, so here's an example. I tried to get, you know, a video of Stephen Ogg. He's over there. I stood right at the back, so I've got my camera in and filming. And she said she can't do that. And I thought, well, surely I can. Anyway, didn't argue. Apart from asking her one question, which was, well, I didn't ask her, I told her. I said, but when they're on the stage there, I'm free to film them. She went, yeah, that's fine. So what's the difference? Please tell me what is the difference. Okay. Let's just see a nice costume. Very cool.
Who would you have gone to a Comicon to see?
Oh, interesting question. I don't know. Do you know what's funny is I did a Comic-Con recently in Chicago. No, it was in Tennessee. And there was an actor there, you guys might know him, he's called Eric Roberts. And I actually worked with him when I first went to America. I did a show called Criminal Minds, Suspect Behavior, and I worked with him. And I always thought that, like, I grew up watching him on movies like Best of the Best and all of the movies that he's done. And so it was great to see him. And I could have imagined coming to see someone like Eric Roberts, you know, from my childhood. Yeah.
And what are the big franchises that turn you into a kid again? That, you know, for me it's always like Star Wars. To be honest, it's everything I can see in front of me here. It's Star Wars, it's Ghostbusters, it's Scooby-Doo. What about for you? What were the big franchises?
Yeah, sci-fi. You know, Star Wars, obviously. You know, I just watched the second season of Andor and absolutely loved it. Thought it was great. And yeah, I would say Star Wars is a big one for me.
Do you have an in-word or an in-sentence to get you into an accent in particular?
I don't know. I think after doing it a while, when I first started doing it, I'd have like these point of entries into the character. So I'd always carry around a comic book with me. So if I felt stuck, especially with the physicality of the character, because John is, you know, he sits like this, you know, he's got the biggest strut outside of John Travolta as Danny Zuko, I think. And so I'd always carry something with me to try and get me into the character, and I would use sort of keywords like I'd listen to a Liverpudlian accent over and over and then kind of tone it down a little bit. But as time went on, it just became, you know, its own thing. And I think his voice actually, it is his own thing now. It's just his voice. I don't even know what accent it is, but it's just John's voice, you know?
Just a reminder to everyone, we do have a microphone right front and centre here. If people want to start queuing up here, we will come to you for questions. So get yourself up here and we will come to you in a short while. How much fun was playing that character? Because like you say, he's very cocky, but he's very charming. He struts around the place, and he's obviously very powerful as well. How did it make you feel playing that role?
Great character to play because of his cockiness and his wit and his sense of humor. That's what I loved most about him, was his sense of humor. All the trauma he's seen, all the trauma he's been through, his sense of humor would always cut through it. But what a fun character to play. There's this one time we were shooting in Atlanta in a mausoleum, and there was a big graveyard. We were shooting inside the mausoleum, and one of the ADs came up to me and she said, "You're never going to believe this, but outside there's a gravestone with Constantine on it." I was like, no. So it's the middle of the night, we're shooting in this mausoleum, and there's just me and her with a torch. I'm walking through a graveyard, puffing on a cigarette, you know, like John Constantine-esque. And there's literally a gravestone with Constantine on it, just Constantine. And it's almost the same font that is in that we used for the show. And then there were like these gravestones which were various different members of the Constantine family. And I feel quite bad now, but actually there's this great image in the comics of John sitting next to a grave with a cigarette and a demon hand coming out to grab him. So I replicated the photo. Oh God, I wouldn't do that now. But it was fun. But then there was this weird vibe, man, because I was like sitting there, and then next minute I was like, this is weird that I'm shooting this show, and there's a Constantine in the graveyard, and then it was pitch black, you know, and we were out in the middle of this graveyard. I was like, I think we should get back to the set, because it was just some weird vibes, yeah.
My name's Caden, and my question was, what was it like working with Matthew Lillard?
Well, Caden, Matthew Lillard is everything that you think he's going to be. A generous, talented, warm, funny, incredible human being, as well as a great actor. And we became extremely good friends on 2 movies. We travelled here to do some press and so on. He's a really good friend of mine. Also, right at the end, I've got some news about us reuniting at a Comicon. This is just fresh off the presses, but I'm going to talk about that at the end. However, would you like to see Matthew Lillard and I, and this is the first video, Matt, it's the SD1 interview with Matt. at the end. So let's just see us on set back in the day.
Neil, the on-set voice of Scooby-Doo. Neil has worked with us intimately the entire process, and he's on set every day, and he does all the Scooby. So he does the on-set voice also of Scrappy. So can you give a little taste of the Scooby and Scrappy?
Yeah, sure.
Right, Randy, we're monster.
Let me at him, Uncle Scooby. I'll rock him. I'll suck him. Put him up. Put him up.
Bro, Randy.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll give him a good dose of puppy power.
I love you, Raggy. Roll me, roll me, roll.
Oh man, dude. See, that's a voice off there. He does those. We kind of have a little competition.
But we made a deal. You don't do mine and I do yours.
No, that's right. I can't do yours, bro.
Do we have any Shawn Astin fans in the house? Bring him up on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shawn Astin.
Hello!
Hello, everyone. Mancunians in the house.
Have you been to Manchester before?
I
What do you
have.
think of the place?
I love Manchester. It's gorgeous. I don't have any of my Hobbit buddies with me this time. We had an elf the last time we were here. We went and had a curry. Now it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I'm happy to be back. And I met a lot of you in Liverpool at one stage. So I came back to see all of you, check up on you, make sure you're doing well. So there you go.
Those of you who've been to these things before will know the drill by now. You guys can all ask questions. All that we ask is that you start making a line up at this microphone here, and we will eventually get through as many as we can. Don't hate us if we don't get through all of you. But
can you hear us? Yeah? Okay. I want to sing a song. I don't know.
What do you enjoy?
Heading out to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show. I got my hush puppies on. I guess I never was meant for glitter rock and roll. You guys know who that is? Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a It's Jimmy Buffett. There you go. Sorry.
I could listen to this all day.
You did?
I would just have you do this for 45 minutes. This would be fun.
I love it. I love it. My daughters say to me, Dad, please don't sing. Please don't. Why are our children so hard on us? Don't they know how we're trying?
And I think this crowd is probably still gripped by Oasis mania, because you know
Oasis,
yeah, they've been
are they still here?
They're down in London now. They did Manchester last week and Eaton Park for the last 2 weekends.
Did you go? My friend called me in Los Angeles. He said, you have to go see Oasis. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, they're in Manchester. I'm like, you know their tour schedule? Because I'm a fan. I mean, when a fan is a fan is a fan. So, but I'm here in Manchester. I'm not in London, so they miss out. They don't get to see me.
Well, speaking of fans, should we get straight into it?
Yes.
These guys want to see you. They want to speak
Yes.
to you. Let's come to the audience questions first. You, sir, in the blue. Let's get you... Oh, we need a microphone first. There's a microphone coming to you. And, oh, yes, we've got a question down here first of all, and then we're going to come to you.
Hey, Shawn. Hey, Shawn. My name's Joe. I am a... I'm here.
Joe, sorry.
I just want to say that I am a huge fan of the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series where you was Raphael. And my question is, if there was an anime movie or a TV show, would you come back and do Turtles again?
I would do Turtles in a heartbeat. I love, I'm so proud of that 2012 through 2016 Raphael. Come on, stop talking and start fighting. Let's go, Leo. And remember he had his relationship with Mona, was it Mona Lisa or just Mona? Was it Mona Lisa? Yeah. She's a salamander and they kiss. You get to see the softer side of Raphael. He's not just grumpy all the time. I am so proud of that. Ciro Neal is the name of the creator of that iteration of Turtles, and he's a genius.
Yeah, my name is Kenny, and for the first time last night, I watched Toy Soldiers.
Classic.
I can't believe it took me so long to see it.
I forgive you.
But going along that type of film, so I'm throwing it off to a different film, is Memphis Belle. You being locked in that small area of that plane, I must ask this. How did that actually feel, and how did you cope with it?
So I get claustrophobic. Like, I'm not a big fan of elevators as a rule. I was so terrified about what it was going to be like when we... Do you know what he's talking about, Memphis Belle? The B-17 bomber movie set in... Oh, we filmed in several Royal Air Force bases, RAF Binbrook, RAF Duxford. We were in London. We filmed at Pinewood, and amazing experience, epic filmmaking. The ball turret is the cage, the round cage that's on the underneath the plane, and it's on a swivel, so that they called it the Flying Fortress because it had 2 waist gunners, and it had a top turret gunner and 2 nose gunners and a tail gunner, and then the ball turret gunner. And these were bombers that would go over, accompanied by oftentimes Messerschmitts, the British Spitfires. Anyhow, this ball turret, what you do is you be in the fuselage, and you get to 8,000, 10,000 feet, where the oxygen masks were rudimentary at best, and they would rotate the ball turret down, and you open the back of it up, and you would step in, and you're basically stepping onto a glass portal, and you get in there, and you curl up in the fetal position like this, and your feet are on these little, and there's 2 50 caliber machine guns. These are big machine guns. And then they close the back up, and you start rolling around like this. Absolutely terrifying. I have no idea how people in the war would do stuff. It was only fixed 4 bolts, 4 little bolts affixed the shaft to the top of the fuselage. Easy to jettison if stuck. So I would sit in my closet on Down Street, right up from Piccadilly Circus. I would stay we stayed in these apartments, and I would sit in the closet, and I would put comforters over me and clothes, and I would try and suffocate myself and try and practice the feeling of panic that would come over you. And so when we did it, the ball turret was high up in the studio, and when you have all the lights, heat rises. And so it was like cooking an egg. And the clothes that you wear on these warrior clothes that they would wear would be like a blue, there's a blue, it was kind of like an electric blanket. It was a suit made out of an electric blanket. So when you would get in there, you would plug it in and it would try and warm you up. And then you have on your leather kit with the down layering. So, you know, if you could be sitting in an igloo and sweating because it's so hot. And now you go up on the top of this thing and you're cooking, and now they put you in there. Now the hole in the glass, the ball turret gunner would look out, that was removed, and they had a camera stuck in there. And they had the machine guns with blanks. These things were sold out. Bah, 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 bah. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't go, maybe I did go a little bit deaf. So at one point I started to panic because they had this spit. Your spit would freeze. If you sweat, the sweat would freeze. So you were both freezing cold and boiling hot at the same time. And they had a little plastic thing so that I could be like, you know, it looked like I was pulling a bit of ice off of me. And I started to choke on it. And so I was panicking, and they had the earphones in so the director could talk to you, Michael Caton Jones. And he said, and I go, Michael, you gotta open the door, open the door, open the door. And I could tell he was thinking that maybe being able to capture footage of me panicking would be good for the movie. but thank God, I don't think the angle that the camera was at was good enough. So he said, okay, open the thing. So they rotated it down, they opened the hatch. I just leaned my back like this out of there. They gave me some water, I took some deep breaths, and I went back in and did it. And the fact that I knew that he would rescue me if I needed it made it so I could get through the rest of the day filming. So thanks for bringing that lovely memory back up for me.
What was the hardest scene to film in Lord of the Rings?
Kissing Rosie Cotton.
Okay. Catch you soon.
Yeah, because Peter Jackson kept saying, it's okay to kiss her harder. You've waited a long time for this.
Bye, Shawn.
I got it right.
I love it.
Everyone, thank you so much.
Please give it up for Shawn Astin. Keeping going while we welcome on stage, please, we have Shawn Fonteno, Ned Luke, and Stephen R.
Holy shit!
Pretty damn cool.
Where the hell is everybody? I thought we were gonna have a crowd. Wow.
You're so cute.
Yeah. Hey, you little gangster, what are you doing down there?
Look at this. Cute little boy.
All right, Steve. It begins. You're edging into the land of creepy right now.
All right. I'll sit over here. I'm cool.
Take a seat.
I'll just.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. You guys.
Come sit with me.
Guys, why do I get the feeling this is going to be the most rock and roll panel of the whole weekend?
Cause it fucking is, man. Shit. What? I got my son right here. We got little Franklin.
Yeah. That's the son I always wanted right there.
I mean, we've got such an enormous crowd for you guys. Just tell me briefly, before we get to the questions, how have you found fame over this past decade or so? How have you found it? Shawn, why do we come
God,
to you?
that's a big head.
How have you found?
What do you make of the fame? Look at the crowds you guys put. Everywhere you go, you get crowds like this. What did you make of it when you first started to get that fame? Have you adjusted to it now?
Yeah, after what? 12 years?
Almost.
Yeah, about 12 years. You know, we can never get used to it. You know, for me, I can never get used to it. You know, it's always amazing to see how people come out and support us. You know, for Ned and Steven, you know, we love to do this, man. You know, I never dreamed it'd be like this, but hey, I'm here now, man. I'm living this fucking dream, man. I'm glad to be out here in Manchester, England with all the GTA fans, right?
He knows who Oasis is. Do you know who Oasis is? No, okay?
Americans. Silly.
Yeah, you know who they are because you're soft. What? You go.
Hello, I just wanted to know, we've had like your most emotional scenes and your most favourite line, but what is like the scene that you had like the most fun to film, like the most just enjoyable experience while filming?
I think for me, to be honest, was all this shit I did with Lamar. It was just, I mean, I got to be me. You know, I got to just lay it out. Say nigga this and motherfuck that and punk bitch. So it just let me be me with Lamar. You know how me and Lamar got down in the game.
Yeah, I had a thing that was not in the game that got cut out. In fact, probably our two favorite things were games, things that weren't in there. I had one where I had to have a geriatric orgy. They brought in a bunch of like 75 and 80-year-old actors, and we were at some party, and it was like a sex party, and it didn't make it into the game because the gameplay didn't work for some reason. But then the other one was our Sharmuta heist. That stuff.
That was my favorite. It was a whole scene where Trevor was pretending he was gay, in order to buy this house, and unbeknownst to Michael, I put him as my lover, which he didn't realize as we're going, and so we had.
Yeah, so there was a lot of yinning and yanging in there, and
But it was so much fun, and I think they didn't use it because the horses or something didn't.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. That's the reason why the game didn't work and didn't get in there, was because you're supposed to steal the horse's semen because he was a big breeding stallion, and then you had to jerk the horse off in order to get it.
Next question, please.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it would have been good, huh?
How's that?
What are you doing? You're out of here. You asked your question.
There would be quite some spin-off, wouldn't there, if you could put all of these deleted scenes and things that didn't quite work together.
Oh man, dude.
Even like a documentary, like it would be so cool because they recorded everything.
That's a nice one.
Hey man, get out of here.
He wants you to go like this, hit and then pop. That's his way of being hit.
That's my bit. That's my bit.
Cool. He's hood.
Let's bring the next question in. Go for it.
Hi, my name's Declan. I like your socks, Stephen, by the way. They're pretty cool.
Do you know what they are?
Pink socks.
They're titties from the Vanilla Unicorn.
They're big boobies.
Nice.
Which when I got them, my mom was with me, and she was like, I saw them, I was like, titties, like big titties. My mom's like, ooh, I think I'll get a pair of those. And I was like, Mom, you know what they are? And she's like, oh, Stephen. Oh, Stephen.
I'm sure she was really proud of you.
Thanks.
My question is...
She is.
My question is, where's your favourite place on the GTA 5 map and why?
Great question. Where's your favourite place on the map and why?
Sandy Shore.
Sandy Shores.
Yeah, that's my favorite place ever on the map.
Brilliant. Thank you for your question. Great observation about the socks as well. Fantastic. Let's bring you in so you can tell us what your question is.
So my name is Eric, and I've got 3 brief short questions, kind of, if that's okay.
If we can keep it fairly short, we've only got a couple of minutes left, so yeah.
Short. Quick question, Shawn. What is your opinion on the Japanese VTubers reacting to yours and Lamar's scene where he roasts you? Do you know anything about it?
I don't even know about the Japanese doing it, but I'm quite sure. Yeah, I'm quite sure it was funny. You know, it was a ton of people doing that. You know, it went viral. So you had Darth Vader doing it, Kermit the Frog, Winnie the Pooh. So it was cool.
Stephen, quick question. What is your opinion on platypuses? Like the platypus, the creature.
What is your opinion on the duck-billed platypus? Is that your question?
Yes.
What's your opinion on that?
On a platypus?
Yeah.
I get it. What an interesting animal. Right? Bizarre looking fucking things.
Thank you very much for your time.
Great questions, deep depth. You have a future as an interviewer.
Oh, you've got a tail too.
We may only have time for one more, maybe two. Let's see how we get on. Go for it.
I got a question for all of you. So, Steve Haynes, yeah? Why didn't, if he made you do your his dirty work, why didn't you just kill him at the start?
Who, me?
Yeah, all of you, really.
Well, I'll tell you what. Because then there would have been a really short video game. Would you have played it then? No. Right. There's your answer. Now at the end, my ending was A. I chose A. I don't know, you guys probably chose C. I chose A because to me that was the logical ending. Then what it should have been is kill Trevor and then go kill the rest of the guys. That should have been D or something, you know, but yeah.
You couldn't kill Franklin.
And then let's do this one last question real quick, and then we'll say goodbye to them. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Alright, this is a question to all of you.
Now, if there was ever like a GTA TV series, would you ever star in it? Like, if you had the choice to be in it?
Hell yeah, if I could, I definitely would.
I don't know, could you picture anybody else playing the characters? Anybody? Maybe Christian Bale as Michael? I don't know, but if he's not available, they're gonna have to use me, right? Who are they gonna use for you? Johnny Knoxville? Fuck, nobody can play fucking Trevor but you. They'd have to.
Johnny Knoxville.
I think, yeah, we all would. Definitely.
Oh my God. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of your questions, guys. Haven't they been absolutely fantastic? Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Shawn, Ned, and Stephen.
Hey, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We love you so much. Thank you. Come see us at our tables. Let's go.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Please welcome on stage Ralf Little, Will Mellor, and Ricky Tomlinson.
Does it work? It works. I'm not even in this. Why are you here? I don't know. You're not even in this. You just put me in it. Where's my royalties? Get off the stage. Come on, Ricky, come on.
Ricky, let's get you up there.
Let's go missing. Ricky Tomlinson. Hello. Sit down, you lazy little git.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to go in? Thank you, sir.
It's weird having just put me in it.
How have you blagged onto this stage?
I didn't ask to be on this.
Listen.
And I'd love to be in the royal family, but I wanted it.
These two shows have been put together, for me anyway, because they just represent a great time period in history, wasn't it? That late 90s, early noughties that everybody loved. Everyone was happy. There was a lot of positive vibes. Let's start with 2 Pints. What was it like to be part of?
I'm glad we're starting with that because I wasn't in the other one. 2 pints.
Can you do this bit and then go away?
Yeah, I'll leave you alone in a minute. I'll go and get a couple of pints myself. 2 pints, I got to tell you, was some of the best years you can have. Calling it work, me and him just pissing about every day, rehearsing and going to the pub whilst rehearsing, and then filming on a weekend and going out every weekend and just having the best time when you're young enough to still not get hangovers. Best time ever, wasn't it?
I mean, I think we still had the hangovers anyway. I'll tell you what, hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? And you very rarely realise when things are good when you're living through them. But I look back now and I feel like the 90s was a good time, and the early noughties was
the best
a good time. And we were lucky enough, doing 2 Pints, to be in our early 20s, living the kind of life that we were portraying on screen, but just having a laugh doing it. It's got to be, for basically, it was 5 really best friends having a laugh on screen for like 7 years. You can't ask for more than that.
And also saying things that nobody else was saying on telly. We were getting away with stuff. We were going, can we say that?
Stuff like what?
Well, I can't say it now. I'd be cancelled if I said it.
Everyone's filming, say it. What do you want to say?
I'm alright, you say it.
I can't remember any of it.
Me neither.
Shall we move on to Ricky?
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't give a shit, he'll say anything.
Ricky, tell me about when the role came up for Jim Royle in the royal family. Was it an instant yes?
Yeah, well, obviously I've got no background in acting, but you've seen me on the screen, so you know that's true. And I don't know whether you know this, and I'm being serious now. I am the last political prisoner to be released in this country. The last one, and we got pardoned after 47 years.
So I bumped into the acting game. I bumped into it. And here's how little I knew about it. I was in the Groucho Club, and everyone in show business was there. And I'm only 5'9". There was a fella there smaller than me, and he had a beard and a ponytail. And he looked lost, and I said to him, "Are you in show business?" And before he could answer, Roland Joffe, the director, came over and said, "Rick, I'd like you to meet Robert De Niro." And I said to him, "You in show?" But anyway, listen, it's all about luck. It's all about luck. I bunked in. I sent away for an audition under a phony name because my own name was still in all the papers. Still in all the papers for leading the building strike in 1972. And so when I got the audition, I had a fallout with the fella, and the fella said to me, "I know who you are." And I said, "Oh, piss off." But he gave me the job, and it was in a play set in Newcastle called United Kingdom. And although I'd never done anything, I was the lead in it. And it got rave reviews, and the rest, he say, is history, you know. So you just play your luck, don't you? Play your luck.
Absolutely. We should point out as well, for those of you who've not been in the panel seats so far, we have a microphone here for guest questions. If people want to ask any questions, just come up to the microphone, form a queue behind, and we will get to as many as we can within this session. So please don't be shy, come up here. Will, I hate to ask you about the royal family because I don't want to touch on...
No, ask him about the royal family, he's an expert, go on.
I just wanted to ask, did you watch it? Were you a fan of the royal family? Did you appreciate it?
Royal Family was one of them shows that was groundbreaking because it was single camera comedy. Ours was audience sitcom, and it was when audience sitcom went from being funny and cool to unfunny and cool because of the Royal Family. Because everyone went, "What is this? This is so different." And it's just people watching telly. That's what everyone said. But I think everyone related to it, and it was genius, and it opened the world to non-audience sitcom. So it was sort of the death of sitcom was the start of the Royal Family. And it was, I think it's one of the best comedies ever. I mean, that and Only Fools and Horses are up there, you know what I mean?
When I first met Will for a read-through,
you don't have to tell this story.
I feel like I should.
No one wants to know. You don't want to know what I did to Ralf on the read-through.
Shall I save that for the tour?
Yes.
All right, I won't tell that story. I'll save it for people who come to the tour and are over a certain age.
I want one of you to make him answer that question. Let's have the first audience question, please.
This is to Ricky. So in 2023, you did a cameo for what was my fiancée Heather. We got married on the 25th of March.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And obviously, I want to say thank you for doing that for me. But my main question is, if you were given the opportunity, would you bring Mike Bassett back?
There's one written about Mike Bassett, and it's where they go to a nursing home, and Mike Bassett's in the nursing home, and they persuade him to come back and take on the England job again. And then for whatever happened at the last minute, the money dried up, so it's still in abeyance. That could still come back. So Mike Bassett could still come back.
So are we going to play 4-4-2?
England are going to play 4-4-2. That's the only defence you can play. 4-4-2 or nothing. That's it.
Thank you very much, Ricky.
That's why Liverpool won the league every year. 4-4-2.
That's a brave thing to say in Manchester, isn't it? To talk about that. He's a brave man, but we'll all forgive him. It'll be all right. Let's have your questions.
Hello, my name's Declan, and my first question's for Will Mellor specifically. So
Yes.
I've just left a job at Cotton Traders.
All right.
And I was just wondering...
Is it because they've got no money left after they've paid in for all these endorsements?
They're doing cutbacks because I charge that much.
I'm not gonna lie, Will, I was a bit sick of seeing your face by the end.
Sorry.
It's alright, it's alright.
You want to try working with him for 20 odd years?
But I was wondering, just before my question about the royal family, if you wouldn't mind saying hello to Marie and all the girls at Dalton Park Cotton Traders.
Alright, hello Maria and all the girls at Dawn Park Cotton Traders. Hello. I bet you're sick of seeing my face and all.
Are you representing today? You've got a cotton trader. Yeah, I've got a cotton trader's top on. Hey, look at that.
And the bottoms.
And the pants. I've just got my Gucci stuff on. I've got to deal with them.
Bollocks.
No, I have bollocks.
Well, thank you very much for that. So, my question's now about the royal family. So, what was the most difficult scene to film and why?
The most difficult scene was the one where the baby's being born on Christmas Day. And the cameraman, some of these older people here will remember Coronation Street years ago. The main family in Coronation Street was Stan and Hilda Ogden. Do you remember? Stan and Hilda Ogden? Well, Stan Ogden's son was the cameraman. He was the cameraman filming that scene. And all them tears were real. Caroline was crying because she had no children. She adored children. She wanted children. She didn't have any children. I was crying because when I was having a rough time, when I'd just come out of prison, my daughter was born on Christmas Day. So it brought all them memories flooding back. And as I say, and it was actually the cameraman who shouted, cut, not the director, it was the cameraman. And it was absolutely amazing. The tears were real. And Stan Ogden's lad said, I've been a cameraman, a top jolly cameraman for 14 years. He said, and that's it. I'm calling a cut, not the director, which was Caroline. And that was it. But we had a wonderful, Caroline and Hayne was amazing. But my favourite was Nana. Nana was absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to tell you something now, and I hope you don't take offence. I hope you don't take offence, but Nana had a great sense of humour. And we had a scene where she's bent over like that, and she's walking up the corridor, and Caroline said, help her, help her. So I'm behind her, I'm on top of her like that. And we're walking along, and I said, do you know what, Nana? I'd love to give you one. She never batted an eyelid. She said, I wish you would.
And so he did. That's why it was the hardest scene to film. For me, the hardest scene was Mambo number 5. Even though I'm barely in it, I just happened to be there. I come in at the end of it. Him and Twiggy stripping the wallpaper to Mambo. Just chaos, carnage, because neither of them knew the song. So I'm of that age and I'm like a little bit of Erica, I know the whole song. He doesn't know any of the words. He can't be bothered learning them, right? So they're playing the song and he's got his pants hanging down off his arse and his bum cracked like this. And Caroline went, he did it a couple of times and Caroline went, Ricky, could you sing along? And he went, sure. And of course he doesn't know any of the words, so all he did for the entire time was go, Mambo number 5, Mambo number 5, and that was it, it killed me. Just laughed the entire time. So, there you go. That was hard.
But you know what? It's amazing. It's all about luck, the lads will tell you. And I was at an award ceremony in Granada, and I was with my wife. And my wife is a Bootle girl. She's from Bootle. And you can always tell a Bootle girl, but you can't tell her bloody much, I'm telling you. And she said to me, will you go and get me a little bit of Buffy? And I went, yeah, okay. So I went and got the cardboard plate, and I picked a little bit of cheese up and a few different little biscuits. And there was a young girl in front of me, and it was my fault. I wasn't watching what I was doing. And I banged into her, and she went flying through the air. And she turned over on her back, and she's lying on her back on the floor. And she looked at me, and she went, oh, you're my dad, aren't you? And I went back to Rita, and I said, there's a girl there, said she's got mental health problems. She thinks I'm a dad. When we got home at midnight, there was a phone call. Get to Granada Studios tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We went, and it was the girl I knocked over was Caroline Ahern, and there was the rest of the bloody cast. That just shows you, doesn't it? You know, yeah. The stuff that we've done on screen that you've seen has all been scripted, and then sometimes we play around with it and come up with new things, but you've got to give the sort of nod to the people who write these things, because Caroline Ahern especially was an amazingly talented comedy writer and genius.
I think you're all very humble as well. You've done a great job with all of your performances. Thank you very much for your question.
Cheers, mate.
Let's have the next gentleman.
Hi, sir.
Give us your question.
Hi, I'm Kenny from Chester. This is a question mainly at you, Will.
Yeah.
But it's aimed at all of you. It's more of a request question from my cousin. She was out shopping, and her husband, who is my main cousin, got mistaken for Will.
Right, have you got a picture?
Yes.
He's not a good-looking guy, is he?
I've had a few of these.
He's not a good-looking guy.
So
Was he shoplifting?
the main question.
Is your cousin Lee Mack?
The main question.
Go on. Let's have a look.
Oh, it's
not too bad.
Why is his face so red?
Oh, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad, actually. I can see it. You've got away with murder there.
Is it a few more pies?
You've got away with murder. Oh, I don't know.
But the main question to it, where is the most embarrassing places you've all been noticed?
Where we are now, actually, the way we're dying on our
pretty much here, yeah. I told this story on our podcast.
This is a terrible one.
This is true. This is about 4 months ago. It's not that long ago, honestly. And well, this has happened a lot in life. So one of the first times I ever got recognised was on a train. We'd done the Royal Family, and I wasn't getting recognised that much, right? But we'd done the Royal Family, and it was starting to get quite big. And I'm on a train from London. I've been to an audition back to Manchester because I grew up in Bury. And I'm on the train. I was just sitting like that, and I'm asleep on the train, knackered, like this. Suddenly I feel this on my shoulders. And I'm like, what's going on? Somebody had recognised me, asleep, drooling all down my shoulder, shook me awake and gone, hiya, can I get an autograph? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but tip for anyone, no matter who you recognise, don't shake them awake. That's not considered polite. So that was a weird one. But about 4 months ago, I was in a pub, and I was like, oh my god, I'm desperate for
touching cloth.
You know when you're touching cloth, and it's like, okay, I'm turtling at this point, crowning, and I was just like, oh god, I've got to go. So anyway, I find the toilet, and as I walk in, this guy's walking out, and he's like, hey mate, and I was like, hi, and he's like, oh, I'm a big fan, and I'm like, oh, thanks mate, but I'm sweating, and I'm like, I'm so sorry to do this, but can we do this? I'm really desperate for the toilet, and he's like, oh, okay, and he holds the door open for me, and I walk into the toilet, and then he watches me. I'm a bit like, I can't pretend to go to the urinal, I'm gonna have to go into a cubicle. So I go into a cubicle, and I'm like, oh, the relief. Anyway, I'm in there 2 minutes, and I just hit knock on the cubicle door. Hi mate, just wondering if I can get that autograph and a selfie. I said I'm having a shit! So that's probably the strangest time I've ever been recognised, yeah.
In the urinals is always one that looks
like...
like
somebody
like
in the happens all the time.
Hey.
Like that.
Right mate, alright mate.
And you go...
I won't shake your hand. No, I won't shake your hand.
I've had this though. No, I won't shake your hand. I've had this, it's like, alright mate, I'm a big fan. I'm like, oh thank you, that's really kind of you. And they're having a good old look. Right? And then they go, and then they finish, and you're still at the urinal, and they go, anyway mate, pleasure, nice to meet you. And I'm like, I don't want to shake your hand.
It happens a lot.
Happens a lot at urinals for sure.
Thanks.
So there you go. Tip for anyone: if you're at a urinal, wash your hands before you try and shake somebody's hand.
Thanks a lot. Last bit of it for Will is, can I just have a quick hello to my cousin? Her name is Vicky.
Is she not in the room?
No.
Hi Vicky, it's just me, Will, Ralf, and Ricky.
Hi Vicky.
Vicky. Hello love.
Thank you for your question, and Ralf, I still have that autograph, I'm delighted.
Oh yeah, you got that autograph, thank you. I thought it was very kind of you to wait and not politely on the door.
Can we have the next question, please?
Love the jumper, lad, you've been to the tour!
Show everyone
He's
the
got
hoodie.
the 2 pints,
Come on,
the 2 pints with a Ralf tour.
Somebody's been to the tour, everybody. We're on again in November, come along.
November Nonsense Tour.
Come along.
Clues in the title when it is.
Brilliant. You've run them round already.
There you go.
Well, this is what I was going to say before I asked you the question. I came to see you on tour last year in Scunthorpe, and someone wrote into you guys using my name.
Oh.
And it wasn't me, I didn't say it, and you read it out on stage.
What was it?
Oh no.
Without reading the question, the answers were, shiver me timbers or hoy matey.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes,
we can't go into that now. Come to the tour if you want to find out about that.
We had some terrible ones like that, because we go on the tour, we do our podcast tour is 2 pints of Will and Ralf. We've done 2 tours, we've got another one in November,
But we do a bit where it's like people write in stories, or we have a Q&A moment, and we have loads of audience participation, and the stories that we get are unbelievable. And there was one that actually stitched somebody else up who was a disabled guy, do you remember? He was non-verbal disabled guy, and one of his carers had stitched up and said, "Is it wrong that I'm looking at Paul?
I have fantasies about my mother.
I have fantasies about my mum."
This was his carer that wrote that in.
And we read it out and we was going, "It's wrong." And then we found out it was a non-verbal disabled guy that they'd stitched up.
Anyway, so our apologies for you getting stitched up.
You got stitched up. It happens a lot, man. People just stitch people up. So we just read it out. We don't know.
Please come along though. Come along again though. We'll clear it up.
Yeah, come along, mate.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank
You're
you.
right, mate.
Thank
Cheers,
you
mate.
so much. We are out of time pretty much.
Oh no, we got to have
Oh, come on, we've got to see this one.
Come on, there's me, mate. Come on, lad.
Go on.
Thanks, Will.
What is this, Dr. Robotnik?
It is.
So, hey, do some of your impressions. Go on.
I'm well done, Ralf. Snooping as usual, I see.
Very good.
That was excellent.
Now, so I know that Will and Ralf are doing the tour. How are you going to go on, and which other places do you want to go next? And also, my question is for Ricky. What's the hardest moment you ever done for acting, and what's your quote to help new actors come into acting?
What? I'm sorry, I missed the question.
What was your hardest moment as an actor, and what advice would you give to anyone coming through to be an actor?
Thanks, Ralf.
And anyone who wants to get into acting, I just give right away for auditions, go to auditions, and as you say, one of you don't say, "I've done everything, I've been in this, that, and the other," but they won't know any different when you get the script. So just go in there, have loads of bottle, have loads of ball, and go in there and do it. I've had no experience whatsoever, and I've worked with the best film director in the world. I've done 2 movies with Ken Loach. I've done a movie with Roland Joffe. I've worked with some of the biggest stars in the world, like De Niro and Samuel Jackson. It's the look of the game. It's the look of the game. If you've got the balls to go and have a go, it's like shooting a ball into the net. If you shoot 20 times, one of them's bound to go.
Well, that's exactly.
One of them's bound
You always. Everybody who's made it has needed a bit of luck.
Yeah.
All of us. You do need a bit of
Absolutely.
luck. But you don't get that luck unless you put yourself out there. You go to a local drama group, or you do local drama theatres, or you go to audit. You have to have a bit of luck, but you've got to put yourself in a position to capitalise.
The only thing is, I miss the romantic lead parts now.
Yeah, you're definitely hitting that right age.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid.
Ever since your balls fell out, that was finished for you.
Yeah, the phone calls have been coming in. We've heard about those fabulous balls on the Royal Family. We've got a Hugh Grant role for you.
Gentlemen,
Thanks for your question, mate. Listen, it's
Absolutely.
good, always
Thank
good to
you so
see
much.
you. You always bring a smile. I've seen this lad at probably 6 or 7 Comicons I've done. He always looks great, and he's a great guy. He's always happy. Such a positive person. It's always nice to see you.
Brilliant.
Good to see you, mate.
Thank
and
you.
a little shout out to Kian there on the front row. He was my first autograph today.
Yeah, rocking the bling,
Legend.
loving the necklace, lad.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, on behalf of everybody
Have we
here,
not got time for Freddie Mercury?
I'm afraid we've got to move it on. I'm so sorry, guys, but thank you so much on behalf of everybody for the laughs up here on stage and the laughs down the years. You've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot,
Give
mate.
round of
Thanks everybody for
applause.
coming out
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you all. Thank you all for coming out.
Gets off the stage.
Thank you.
This old town don't smell too pretty now. I can feel the warm inside running around my mind. So what do you say? You can't give me the dreams in the mind anymore. Half the world away. Half the world away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful panel for you. Let's make loads and loads of noise, please, as we introduce Michael Colditz, Josh McDermitt, Tovah Feldshu, and Lawerence Gilliard Jr.
Hey
You have. We'll come to you first. Wow, guys, we are honoured to have you guys here with us today in Manchester.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Lawerence, have you been to Manchester before? Do you
My
like
first
the UK?
time in Manchester, having a great time. Yeah. Yesterday I had a day off. I didn't know what to do, and I ended up at, is it Arndale Center? Is that it? The mall?
That's the one.
I was over there wandering around, being incognito. And I don't know how many F1 fans are in here, but got some F1 fans? I got this yesterday in Arndale Mall.
Lando Norris Tom. I love it.
Representing Lando in the house.
Fantastic.
Any other Lando fans? Yeah. Go Lando.
I mean, it's a Comicon, so there's lots of Lando Calrissian fans in here, I guess. Star Wars fans.
Yes.
But you said about staying incognito. Tovah, when you are out on the street, you must be getting recognised and asked for autographs and photos all the time. Well, what's it like coming off the back of this franchise?
I only get asked for autographs when my hair looks like Deanna Monroe's hair.
Who's Deanna? Oh, come on,
But I
guys.
want to show you, I don't have Lawrence's t-shirt, but I'll show you what The Walking Dead did give me for season 6. So it was great to take it out of the closet for you guys. I'm not in the closet, just the shirt.
Not anymore.
Michael, I feel like you've got to stand up and give us a twirl of some sort now. What have you, who are you wearing?
And then I picked up this black shirt, and I've not been to the mall. I didn't come all the way over here to go to the mall. Maybe I need to go to the mall. What did you do, Josh? Give us a twirl.
It's my first time in Manchester as well, and I found myself face down on a sidewalk after exiting a pub. Don't know what pub, don't know how I got home, but I'm here today. It's good to see you.
You know that in the UK, if there's a major act of cultural significance, we put a blue plaque on the wall. Maybe we could put a blue plaque on the floor for where
my face went outside Mulligan's in Manchester.
Guys, you already know the drill. If you've got a question, line up down the middle. We'll get you to the microphone. You've all got so many questions. I want to get to you guys straight away. So let's have the first question of the day. Come up and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Angel. And
Hello.
I've got a baby kitten waiting for me at home. It's a girl. And I want you guys to name it.
Your kitten?
Yeah.
It's the most brutal, unkitten-like name that we could give.
Name, is it a her or a him?
A her.
Name it Alexandria.
Alright, of course.
Done.
Thank you so much.
Job done. Fantastic. Well done. Thank you, Tovah. Okay.
I was thinking Eugenie, but...
I was thinking you could name it Michael Colditz.
I was thinking Sasha, but... too soon.
I was thinking we could name it Rosita, and then I said, no, let's name it Sasha.
Let's come to our next question. What have you got for us?
Hi, I'm Bella. My mum's terrified of zombies. I was wondering if you guys had any fears.
Any fears? Because her mum's terrified of zombies. So if you guys got any fears, anything you're afraid of, don't worry, we're not going to bring anything out, no spiders or snakes.
I have a fear. I have a fear that was unlocked when I was on vacation. I went snorkeling, and we snorkeled to the edge of this reef. And you know how, like, for those who have snorkeled or scuba, the reef or the edge of the reef drops off into darkness, and I realized I'm terrified of being underwater and not being able to see what's out there. So much that I got back on the boat. It was not, I had a massive anxiety attack over what I can't see, which is probably connected to just me and things that I can't control. probably says a lot more about me inside than I'd want to know, but that's my fear.
Any others? Anyone?
I fear not being good at my work. So that's what propels my diligence with my work. So that's about it. But no matter how much I try, Michael does not think I'm any good. That's a joke. Okay.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Lawerence, have you got any fears?
Well, I do fear the ocean too. I fear the ocean. I'm a little bit afraid of heights, but I jumped out of an airplane once, but I still fear heights. And I'm afraid of being broke. I never want to be broke. I fear that. And that's it.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Thank you. Let's have the next question up here. Okay, what have you got for us?
Hi, my name's Declan, and I was just wondering who was your favourite cast member to work with and why?
There's too many. There's like, everybody's so fun. Like everybody up here, I had amazing time with everyone. Yeah, like everyone was special, was different, but special in their own kind of way. Josh is crazy, super funny, man. Like this dude made me laugh. Stephen Yu made me laugh. Colditz I worked with before this show, so when he showed up on the show, it was like a brother with Shawn. You know, it's
He was my AA sponsor on Southland.
Yes, on the show Southland. So you can never just pick one, and the cast is so huge. Like it's hard to say just one person. But
I think it's more than that. I think that it's our job to love the team that does the show and not to have favorites. That's a choice, and it's a very wise one.
Real quick, I don't have my glasses on, but do we know you? We know you, don't we?
I don't think so.
We haven't met you, like we haven't known you for like 10 years, like since you were a young man?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, no, you would have revealed yourself at this point. I'm sorry. There's bright lights, and I also don't have my glasses on, so I can't see.
I went to walk a Stalker Con about 10 years ago. So
yeah.
Maybe you'll have met me there.
No, my favorite person to work with was this guy. I mean, he was.
We did most of our. It's almost an unfair question because we did most of our stuff together, and we met each other on the show, and now we're like very, very close friends outside the show and still see each other all the time. So it's we have these friendships that do form through the show that sometimes go well beyond the show. Like we're all still very close. I love Tovah, I love Lawerence, but I don't see them all the time. Like I see Josh all the time. Maybe we go out to dinner, our families. So yeah, it's very much a family, but within that family you have people that are closer and different relationships build over the course of the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. You're a legend.
Just with that in mind about the family dynamics, without sort of making favourites of people, who are the people who were the funny ones that would make you laugh? Who were the ones who'd be like the mum or dad figure that would put their arm around your shoulder and make you feel better? With the different sort of relationships like that you can talk of.
Well, that shifts continually as the show grows and people come and go and different relationships happen. I mean, honestly, everyone's funny. They just are. It's like actors tend to be very giving and caring and supportive, but also sarcastic and very realistic about what's happening. So everyone is
everyone
funny.
has their moments.
Yeah.
Where they just step in the moments, you know what I mean? But I can say, like, when I first got to the show, Andrew Lincoln was very just welcoming. He was like, welcome to the show. He almost felt like a dad when I got to the show, you know what I mean?
I love it. Thank you, guys. Let's bring the next one up. Oh, speaking of which, we have an Andrew Lincoln fan, I think.
Hi, I'm Connie. I just want to know, like, what was the best part of playing your character on the show?
The drinking. No. The best part, you know, I like that my character kind of had a heart and was optimistic. You know, had an optimistic perspective on life. I like that he was that guy. So that's what was that's what was fun for me to do, to be that person in the show while I was on it. Yeah.
I loved working with everybody, but I loved working with Andrew, and I think what Lawerence said is dead right. He couldn't have been more solicitous. I was flown in, I was on a trip in the Galapagos, and was flown in from Cartagena, Colombia, to show on a Sunday night, to show up on a Monday for a costume fitting and a meeting with the lawyers for the NDA. That's a non-disclosure agreement. Because secrecy about this, what was going to happen in our plot, was paramount, and it was very, very strict. And I just remember Andy Lincoln calling me that night to welcome me, and we rehearsed on the phone because we had a 5-page scene the next day and had never met each other. And he was the kind of actor who would get to the set early to acknowledge the gardener and the landscapers of the set for doing what they did for the grass around Alexandria. It's the kind of human being he was. I thought that was just brilliant. And it sifted down through the entire company and the entire series. He was a great asset. He made it easy for AMC to negotiate because people wanted to be with him. You know, there wasn't I did not experience any trouble on the set. I never experienced it.
Thank you very much for your question. Thank you. Brilliant question. Love that. Okay. Next up, introduce yourself and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Jessie. I was just wondering if you had any like songs or musicians you associate with your characters, or maybe because you were listening to a lot of them when you were filming.
As Eugene, I listened to a lot of heavy metal because I felt like he was like a big Metallica guy, Megadeth, Anthrax, stuff like that. I myself don't really like heavy metal, but man, as Eugene, I really got into it. And so now, like if I hear Enter Sandman, I immediately snap into character. It's like crazy.
There are a lot of actors use music. I don't personally. I don't listen to any music when I work on set, like outside of I do, but not on set.
I listen to the speeches of great leaders, Churchill, John Kennedy, and just because she was a leader, the showrunner, Scott Gimple, said, "You were a senator from the Midwest." I remember him saying this, and that was back when the United States Congress really had integrity.
I came to like one song because of the show. That's the Blackbird song that they played during that one episode where they introduced me. So I kind of fell in love with that song once I saw the scene and it all came together. I really liked that. It was a song that I created for myself. It was my Bob and Sasha song. That's what I called it. It was my own internal thing. And that was Bob Marley's song, you know, is this love, is this love, is this love? So whenever I was with her and doing something with her, you know, before I would do that, I would play that song in my head. I would think about it. So that when I was with her, it would be, you know, warm and fuzzy. So that's one of the songs that I kind of used, and during that show.
The big ones are easier. Like, you can't talk about who's dead. The hard ones, I felt, were through the season when you're doing interviews throughout, you're trying to remember what has already aired. Yeah. So you don't want to spoil something that hasn't aired or that was at this week or next week. So you start to become vague and you might trip up. But the big secrets are easy. You just don't talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you for answering my question. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you, I just want one quick thing to that. Like, I want to say when Bob I found out about it, and then it happened, and then I was still coming out. Like after that, I would come to the cons, and people would be like, "What are you doing here?" Because they would know that we were working that week, so they'd be like, "What are you doing here? Did something happen?" And I'm like, "No, it's the weekend. That's why I'm here." Yeah, so it became a little bit challenging, but you know, you just keep it quiet. That's all.
Before you guys all became famous as you are, and you could have come and just walked around a Comicon, who would you have liked to have gone and visit for a photo op or an autograph or something like that? I don't know that we can start that end.
Sean Astin. I definitely would have met him if I was down there.
He's here.
What?
Yeah, he's been up on the stage this morning.
Is he really here?
He really is. I thought you were.
He's here, bro. I just saw him outside in the parking lot.
100%. Sean?
Anyway.
He's here.
If he was here, I'd lose my mind.
He really is here.
Stop it, dude.
He's totally here, bro.
You guys are stupid. Stop it.
Anyone else? Tovah, who would you have seen? Maybe when you were a kid and you would have gone, I would love to meet that person.
Are we talking that within The Walking Dead, or are we talking about...
Just as you were a kid watching TV and movies or anything like that as a kid, who would you have loved to have met and to have got a photo with or just spoken to?
I ended up meeting these people, but I'm old enough that Helen Hayes came to my dressing room and Mary Martin came to my dressing room. It was my first marquee on Broadway. And then I was here in London, I was in London to see a play called Blue Orange with Bill Nighy and Andrew Lincoln on the West End stage, and they were fantastic. So, you know, I had lunch with Rex Harrison. These people were alive. Uta Hagen was a very famous actor in America. She was my teacher, you know, in Strasbourg. So I would have, of course, I was gobsmacked when they walked into the dressing room, and speechless, but not shaky, just. So I just done a performance. I'm very grateful. And I'm just very grateful for Andy Lincoln, because if you learn nothing, you learned how to head a company. He really was a great hub of the wheel called The Walking Dead.
Fantastic, thank you. Let's have our next question from the audience.
Okay, so I've got some questions. Second one's quick, but I don't have to answer it. My first question is, considering Walking Dead is such a dark and gritty show, were there any scenes that you just couldn't film because you were laughing so hard? Anything that was just dead funny?
Were there any
scenes? Just dead, not dead funny.
were there any scenes where you were just laughing so hard it's hard to get a take in the can?
I don't know. I can't think of any specific one. I mean, it happens, you know. It happens on all shows. It happens where, you know, someone says something, or like sometimes you're trying to remember a line, you can't remember a line, and every take you mess up, and then eventually people just start laughing, you know. Things like this happen. I can't remember specifically a moment when it happened, but I'm certain that it did happen often. Everyone was so... It's funny because although, you know, we were like in the mud, we were in the grime, we were in the heat, we were in the rain, we were in all the things, everyone was working so hard to just make a great show for you guys and stay connected that we didn't even feel any of those elements. So at any moment, someone could say something funny, break into laughter, it didn't matter. So it was just a part of the normal everyday thing. That's probably why I can't think of specific, you know, oh, this happened and that happened.
It wasn't our day-to-day. That wasn't the carpet or the basket that held the gestalt of the show at all. It was serious business. As Ruth Gordon said to me, you think it's hard to get up there? Try to stay up there. And by the time Deanna Monroe came in the 5th season, The Walking Dead was still #1, which is extraordinary. And that means people were there to do the serious work that needed to be done. And if there were laughter, it would be, I would say, after work or something. I don't know. The situations were pretty dire. So if a prop went crazy, maybe that would give you a laugh. But cutting up or trying to make another actor laugh?
Yeah, no, not
no
purposely.
go. This isn't a rom-com, and it isn't a variety show. It's not Carol Burnett, who was great. Different genre.
So, sorry to be about that. Second question is specifically for you, Mr. Colditz. Are you still pissed off at Negan's introduction? Are you still just pissed off at Negan?
Am I still pissed off?
Yeah.
I don't think I was ever pissed off. I love Jeffrey. Who didn't want to climb into that gurney with Denny? Give him a big hug as he was dying. No, I love Jeffrey. Yeah, they no Grey's Anatomy fans out here? Is that totally... So we get nothing, no love for Denny. Wow, all right.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for your
Thank
questions.
you.
Brilliant. Okay, let's bring the next person up to the mic. And give us your question.
I was wondering what your guys' favourite scene was to film.
What's your favourite scene to film?
Mine was saying goodbye to Eugene because I was saying goodbye to Josh. So it was like the last dialogue scene that we had together on the show. So it was definitely a life imitating art situation where I was saying goodbye to my friend and also saying goodbye to my friend.
My favorite scene was shooting his death scene. Because it was such a challenging scene to shoot, and it was hard and emotional, and everybody was kind of leaning on each other as we were on our knees for 15 hours for 3 nights in a row. It was just it was one of the hardest things we've ever had to do, and it was just great to just look my castmates in the eye and just know they have my back and I have theirs, and that was awesome.
Probably Tainted Meat. Tainted Meat scene was fun. It was hard. It was late. It was cold that night. But once I was sitting there and I started smelling my leg cooking behind me, and I looked back and saw my leg on the grill and people eating it, and I had to laugh a little bit. But that was probably, it was a hard scene, but it was a fun scene. In retrospect, it was fun.
I love them all, but the one I remember most vividly was being bitten, and Deanna's reaction when she was bitten was, "Oh shit." That was her line, which was crazy. And then my favorite was a silent scream that we stumbled upon in the death scene as Deanna's going out and she's shooting the walkers coming toward the door, and that moment. There also was freedom on the set to contribute your ideas and not having to be absolutely precisely verbatim, and it was fun that they made room for the actors to, in the moment, contribute as well as best we could.
Brilliant, thank you so much for your question. Really good question. Okay, next up, give us your question.
My name is Bradley, and I was just wondering, it's a question for you all really, in about season 4 of The Walking Dead, Abraham and Rick were about to get into a fight, very close. If this did happen, who do you guys think would win and why?
Abraham, because he's on stage. Nah, Abraham. Abraham, what? Abraham would have whipped. Nah, for real.
Is that the consensus along the panel then? I think so.
Yeah, Abraham would have beat the shit out of him.
No contest.
Yeah, it's not that being physically superior was not Rick's strong point. He was incredibly intelligent, he was tactical, at times he was insane, but yeah, in that moment, yeah.
I think Rick would have surprised Abraham with how wily he could be, or like just not get one over on Abraham, but just Abraham would have been like, oh, I didn't see that coming, anyway, and then just take him out. I think there would have been a moment like that. Like, oh, you're clever. I don't know.
It's a nice image. We can all take that home, can't we? It's a nice image. Thank you very much for your question. Okay, who do we have next? Here's your question.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I was just wondering
wondering what it's like to leave such a big show, how it felt, and whether you were happy with your character endings.
Good question. How happy were you with your character endings?
I was very hurt when I had to leave the show. I was sad. I was having a great time, and so yeah, it hurt. But I was extremely happy with my character ending, which I don't know if you guys were, but I was asked how I wanted to go out. They were like, how do you want to die? And I was like, I don't. But then I said, you know, just make it memorable, something memorable. I just want to be remembered. And what they picked for me, which I don't know how many people read the graphic novels, but my death was actually Dale's death in the novel. I just thought it was fitting, and when I read it, I was like, this is gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Nobody wants to leave a hit. That's like rule number 1 on Broadway. You don't leave a hit. So I remember I was going to rent an apartment. Michael, I was going to rent this apartment, and Scott Gimple said, don't take a long lease. I'll never forget it. And not only do we have to have you bitten at the end of the season, but you can tell no one, not your husband, not your agent, no one. So I held that sadness, the regret to have to leave it, and just did the best I possibly could until the end. But when Deanna was on for seasons 5 and 6, she was really on. She wasn't peripheral, and I was very grateful for it. It was a great job. It was just a great job.
And I was fine with it. I knew, because I knew coming in the show that that Scott was going to get closer to the trajectory and the narrative of the graphic novel. So I knew that there was basically a shelf life to Abraham. And when we started getting closer, and then especially when Eugene said, let's go look at the foundry where we can make ammunition, well, that's where he goes in the graphic novels. As soon as they walk outside the gate, he gets the bolt of the eye. Once we got past that, I knew my days were numbered. That being said, I preferred the graphic novel death over, I preferred the TV version over the graphic novel death. And then I was in a really cool situation because I ultimately didn't really leave the show. I started directing on the show. So I directed till the end of the show itself. And I see these guys all the time. The best thing about the show is the people. The other actors, the other cast members, the crew. We all see each other. Some more than others, but we all see each other continually. So, yeah, I was okay with it.
Oh, wait. Oh, hey. As the only living cast member on the show, I loved it. I loved where Eugene ended up. Where we see him in the beginning as a coward who needs other people to protect him, and then becoming this man who leads his people to this great community and ends up protecting others. And I mean, it's a complete 180 from what we saw of him initially, and the journey along the way was very awesome and fulfilling, and I loved it. I was sad that the show ended, but I was also happy with where they left the character, so I was also fine with it ending, you know what I mean?
Great question. Thank you very much. Okay, next up.
Hello, I'm Jazz. I know you've been talking about how much you love acting. I wanted to know what job you would do if you didn't pursue acting.
Love it.
Or what you'd like to do at least.
I would have been a barrister, like my father.
I'd like to build little ships inside of bottles.
Any more? Any more? Josh? Anything?
I was trying to think of something funny and I can't, so that's why I was hesitating. I guess I'll just give the real answer, which is the guy who makes the cork for the bottles that the ship goes in. I probably would have been a police detective. I just like puzzles.
I probably actually would have been a fireman or in the military, to be honest. But I think building ships in a bottle would be fun too.
Before I was an actor, I was actually a musician. So I'm a classical clarinetist as well. So if I didn't, switch and do that, then I'd want to be sitting in an orchestra right now, just playing beautiful music every night. That's what I'd be doing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Okay, next up.
My name is Kyla, and I was wondering what some of your favourite lines from the show is.
Favorite line from the show?
Favourite line you've delivered in the show. Or maybe one that you would have liked to have said that another character had that you thought that was cool.
Someone just today reminded me of a line that I said, hold on, I hope I have it in my car. I don't, I took it out. But it said something like, it was a moment that he didn't want to talk about because at that moment, after he said whatever it was, you would only, I think it was to Sasha, after he was bitten, and she said something like, why didn't you tell us? And he said, because after that moment, everything else after that, me saying this would become about the end. And I really, really like everything that happened in the middle. I think that was, I like that moment, yeah.
The first episode I did opposite Rick, in that long scene that was shot as a profile 2 shot with Nicotera, I think, directing us. I said, it sounds like I'd like to be part of your family. And that's what happened for 2 years. And the other one that was remembered is, someday this pain will be useful for you.
Michael?
Abraham had a bunch of great sort of one-liners that all sort of, he had a bunch of one-liners from the beginning, but it wasn't until Who's Deanna that people started sort of using them as catchphrases. It's just a bunch of great lines. They were very kind to me. And all the malapropisms, monkey's left nut, bitch nuts, mother dick, dolphin smooth. There's a vast ocean of shit out there you people don't know shit about. Rick Grimes knows every fine grain of 6 cents. Like, it doesn't mean anything, but it means something. And of course, suck my nuts. Who doesn't like that line?
Negan didn't like that.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
For me, Eugene had so many great lines, and when I come to these cons, I'm reminded when people want me to write a quote, and they'll tell me things that I forgot I had said, and so the one I'm writing a lot this weekend is I am indeed a smarty pants, which is great, but when Eugene and Negan were living together, and Negan was like, hey, I hope they're treating you well, and Eugene was holding the jar of pickles. He said, well, I was gifted this jar of pickles. Like, that was just so weird, and I loved it. But then I think my ultimate favorite line came at the end of the show when Eugene was about to fight Daryl. And he put his fists up and he said, step aside, Hoss, no need for this to get ugly. And he almost he almost got his ass kicked by Daryl. But I just loved it, and that line was reminded to me this weekend. It was pretty great.
Fantastic. Thank you for your question. Brilliant. Let's get one more. We are starting to run out of time, so let's see how many more. We might be able to get 2 more questions, and maybe. Let's just see, we might just need a hand here with the microphone. Somebody could just give him a hand. Here we go. Somebody's going to come in and just give a little hand here. It's a fantastic turnout that you're all getting here from the British fans of this series. We love you guys so much. And here we go. Give us your question, please.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
My question is there any scenes that they tried and got you to do, but you just refused to do it for about like 8?
A scene that they tried to get us to do that we refused to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and No, that's not really an option.
No, like a store about this, like they like what to do.
No, it's not. We have.
That maybe you might have felt uncomfortable doing.
Oh, uncomfortable?
Yeah.
There was a moment. There was a scene where I didn't.
Sorry, we have a gate crashing here.
I don't. Anything that involves Stephen Ogg. When Stephen Ogg would come up on set, the guy who played Simon.
I was very uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
There was a scene that I didn't want to do. I thought I'd feel uncomfortable. I don't like I was saying about the ocean, I'm afraid of you. I don't like being submerged in water for too long. And the scene where I was bitten by a walker, the walker pulls me underwater. So when I get to set that day and I get to the location and they built a pool inside this basement of this place. And inside the pool, they filled it with like walker poop and every kind of it was filthy. It was disgusting. And I walked, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna make it through this day. I was pissed instantly, right? And then I go back and the crew is like playing in it, dude. They're like swimming, they're holding their breath, they're passing balls around. They're like, hey. And I'm like, I cannot be upset when the crew is literally acting like they're at a Disney retreat. I can't be upset with it. So they totally turned my perspective, and I ended up enjoying that scene. But I was not happy when I got to set that day. That was one that I didn't want to do, but I did.
I was just grateful I could do it. I did this in my 60s, and I had to sprint, and I had to fight big guys and use knives and have blood all over me. And I just was so grateful to be up to the mark, to be able to physically, after years and years of being an athlete, to be able to still do it.
Fantastic.
No complaints.
And that seems like a really fitting way to bring this panel to a close. You have been such a wonderful part of all these people's lives. Thank you so much for joining us here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Walking Dead panel.
Thank you, guys. If anyone had any questions that they wanted to ask, just come up to our table. You don't have to buy anything. You can come talk to us. We'd love to see you.